Pennsylvania is a strange place, but it takes a journey from its large population centers to discover what's really frightening. The state's industrial past is rich with stories of excellence as well as tragedy, but without coal, our lives would be very, very different. It's from these forgotten places where we discover the consequences of even the best intentions. Right beneath my feet is a mountain, and it's on fire. A seam of anthracite coal has been burning here for about 5 decades, and it's gonna burn for about 250 more years. People used to live here, they used to raise their kids here, they used to think they had a job and a future. Energy and modernity came from here. This coal may have fired the blast furnaces at Bethlehem Steel, which may have made a tank for World War II. May have made some of the I-beams or cables that ended up in the George Washington Bridge. May have made the rebar that's in the concrete in the Empire State Building or the Chrysler Building. Centralia's hardship isn't unique. Towns across Pennsylvania have been hit hard since the decline of coal. Revitalization is desperately needed, and without a new economic driver, these towns will continue to sink into the ground and continue to be places you drive through, not to. West of Centralia is the city of Shamokin, Pennsylvania. It was home to the second largest anthracite mine on the planet. Decades later, it's now home to the largest man-made mountain of industrial waste in the world. Every square inch of this hill here is the byproduct of coal mining. It's called a comb pile. There's stone, rock, shale, and coal. It's ablaze. How big is the fire? Really unknown. Facts are scarce here in Shamokin because the last time this was checked, some people weren't born, some people just gotten out of high school. But it was like 3 decades ago. It is now the biggest pile of pollution I have ever seen, and nobody seems to be doing a damn thing about it.
In terms of the scope of the fires in Pennsylvania, there are dozens across the Commonwealth that are actively burning. And they're burning in regions that are urban, and they're burning in regions that are rural. These are the maps for Centralia. These maps show the underground mine workings, the cross sections, the temperature readings, and the boreholes where we can locate the fires and monitor them. We can't extinguish all the fires in Pennsylvania at one time. In Shamokin, for instance, we have bank fires. In Centralia, we have underground mine fires in multiple seams. People have often asked why we can't harness the energy from these mine fires, but to do that, it actually comes at a cost, and it's very technical in nature to do, and trying to capture that energy is not something that's very feasible. Close to our office here in Ashley, Pennsylvania, in the Willamette Valley, is the Laurel Run mine fire that's been actively burning since 1962. And those people were relocated to higher ground out of the fire zone to a safer place on top of the mountain.
Mines are like underground cities. By looking at the maps, you can see that the haulage ways and tunnels are like streets. And there are many interconnected levels stacked on top of each other, some as deep as 1,800 feet. It's hard to wrap your head around the immense scale of a mine, especially the ones that span across entire valleys. Now, imagine them on fire. With 2 active mine fires, the city of Carbondale has its own tragedy. The West Side fire is contained, and some of the land has even been remediated. The area high school and an apartment complex are built close to where the fire burned in the 1950s. This is a $10 million hole in the ground. Carbondale, Pennsylvania, and the Bureau of Abandoned Mine Reclamation are remediating this project. Why? Well, it's about 1.5 inches away from a baseball diamond and football field, a workshop, a cemetery, and a community. And this thing has been burning for 2 decades, 20 years. It jumped a trench that they dug, which was over 100 feet deep, went right underneath and kept going. These things are kind of like an underground stream. They have a mind of their own, they follow where the coal goes, and they burn until it's done. So what have we done? We've created one of the greatest societies the world has ever seen. We've also created this.